Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.
It has been about 2 months since the initiation of the 2022-2023 school year, and Marysville High School has implemented a new attendance policy to ensure the best possible learning for students. Today, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director Mr. Gartland is here to share the importance of good attendance and how the new policy is impacting our school and the students within it. So just in case some people are unaware of the new attendance policy, could you briefly describe it for us?
Sure. Well, first of all, with any policy, and in particular this one, attendance, the point of having this policy is to correct behavior. So if there is a behavior with negative attendance or just not coming to school, that's the whole purpose of the policy. But what we're looking to do is to really create communication with families where if a student's not going to be here, their family notifies us and notifies us the reason why. So as it is right now, once you hit 10 absences, you'll be notified with a letter from the school, and then upon your 11th absence in a semester, what we're asking students to do is that they'll fill out an attendance appeal, where it's basically stating the dates that they were absent, the reasons that they were absent, and then from there we'll schedule a meeting, we'll work with the families to try to figure out a plan forward for the remainder of the semester and to have students here as much as possible.
All right.
So as we approach the end of the first semester, how would you say that attendance rates have changed?
Well, so far over the last 2 years, the attendance rates are much better. There's a lot that goes into that. A lot of that is, the quarantine mandates have slowed down. Close contact, we're not expected to trace students and send them home for close contacts of COVID. So just that and there has really helped us, and just making students aware of how important it is to be here and having an attendance policy in place has really, greatly increased our attendance rates of students attending school.
So if a student does end up missing more than 10 days, how can their grade be affected?
Well, the first thing that we do is we want to set up an appeal hearing. So we'd want to meet with the family, we'd want to hear what's going on, and we want to help them. That's the whole purpose of having the policy and for having the meeting, is to figure out how we can help the students succeed. Unfortunately, there may be instances where a student doesn't really have a good reason for missing school, and we have the appeal, and then they continue to miss school. In that case, they could be awarded at the end of the semester for their grade no credit, meaning that they would have to earn that credit back the second semester, either by improving their attendance rates or by just making up some of the lost time that they missed in those classes.
So what are some good reasons that an appeal would go through, that they would still be able to receive their credit?
A lot of it would be just better communication. So maybe students were out for a medical reason where they didn't notify us, and we get that all squared away once we get the documentation. It could be that there was a family emergency, a funeral that they had to go to that they just didn't notify us of, and they have documentation for that as well. So once again, the whole purpose is to create communication between the school and home, so we know if a student's going to be out, why they're out, and what we can do here to help them when they come back.
Attendance has been one of the most beneficial factors of success in school. So how has the new attendance rule affected academic performance in the school so far?
Yep, so far, I think it'll be tough to tell. I think after the first semester, we'll really have some better data on that. Just all the studies that, when we were reviewing this policy, all the studies that we reviewed really pointed out that when you get to about 20 days absent from a school year in a semester, that's about 10% of the days that a student would attend. That's really the point where grades start to decline. So with our attendance policy, what we really want to do is prevent students from getting to that 20-day or 10% mark.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had some mixed feelings about this policy. Have you received any complaints thus far?
Some, not too much. A few from students, a few from parents, but like I said, the purpose is to create communication with families. So I think once families know about this, they're much more apt to call in and just make us aware of if their child's going to be out and why.
So being the head of discipline in MHS, what are your personal thoughts on the policy? Do you think anything could be improved from it?
Yeah, I mean, probably after this semester, we're going to be able to take a look at the data, take a look at who's affected by this policy and definitely be able to revamp it. When we set this in place, I wasn't expecting it to be, just the law of the land with attendance for the years to come. It's something that we'll definitely be looking at each year and each semester to revise and probably take staff input and even student input.
Yeah.
So who all was involved with the making of the policy?
Myself and Principal Schweihofer. We spent some time over the summer just doing research, speaking with other schools in the local area, seeing their policies, and then kind of combining what we've saw and what we believe will feel works well for Marysville for our policy.
So thank you, Mr. Gartland, for sharing all the information with us.
Absolutely.
And it looks like the new attendance policy will have a positive outcome at MHS. I'm Thomas LeCavalier
I'm Carter Stevens.
for M6, your hometown station.
Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.